earlier this year I was gifted an 8-year-old unbacked Lipizzaner gelding called Capri. He'd really done very little with his life, but he'd lived with somebody who loved him greatly. From the age of about 2.5, he'd been living with one horse in quite a sheltered environment. His owner's circumstances had changed, and so she sent me a video and asked me if I would be interested in having him as a gift. This was the video I was sent. I said, yes, please. And so Capri got on the lorry from Scotland and came down to me on Dartmoor. In Scotland, I think Capri had been a fairly peaceable chap, not really being exposed to anything that he found difficult, living a life that he found pretty easy to cope with. He arrived here and his head was blown off. So this is day one when he got off the lorry. And we had many, many situations like this. He was extremely panic struck and was using flights the whole time to get himself out of situations that he was concerned about. He was always trying to bash into me with his left shoulder, which is what you can see I'm trying to explain to him here. Please don't do that. So he was either pushing forwards or running away. I ended up on this first day, before I realised I needed to put gloves on, with quite a lot of rope burns. What Capri did enjoy from day one, though, was having a new friend, my Lusitano Des, and being in the Dartmoor fields. He very much improved Des's life. They forged a great friendship from the moment they met each other. Because Capri understood so little about pressure and actually it caused him to panic, I realised I was going to have to use some other tactics to see if I could show him I was useful. So we did a lot of stuff to start with, which was about trying to encourage his curiosity in things before he boiled over into concern. So if he showed me that he was interested in something, I would go over and look at it with him, trying to prove to him that I was aware of what was going on for him. But I did also need to show him how to find an answer that wasn't going in a straight line and bolting off. Here you can see me using the coil of the rope towards his shoulder to ask him to take his shoulder away from me and to bend and to yield back round. We did this many, many, many times to help him, particularly on the right rein, to find a solution that wasn't just going like an oil tanker and bolting off. So when he got worried, could he find an answer that kept us both safe and that actually had release and relaxation built in? See, he really wants to put me back on the left the whole time. So I'm trying to show him with as little pressure as I can how to be on the right and how to be curvy rather than bracey. He found gates ridiculously difficult. Get him in and out of the field required about a 5-stage gate process. So I knew I had to show him how to go around gates without barging, without rushing, and without panicking when something was behind him as he was going through a narrow space. So I'm trying to show him here to wait, to not be cued by the gate. You can see there he's trying to take his invitation to go forward from the gate rather than me. So I'm saying, no, please wait for me. And then I'm showing him how to go around, curve and yield. Because what he was doing was bolting through gateways, particularly when there was something behind him. So I'm showing him here how to be sent through a gate. I've got him on this very long line, which is quite cumbersome for me because of the bolting. It's a 22-foot line. I wanted to give him as much space as possible before he hit the halter. And I'm showing him how to back up and then how to wait to be sent through the gate. We practiced this many times in many different situations. And it was really hard for him. He found it really challenging. During the first couple of months he was here, although things were getting better, we still had an awful lot of this. And it would take nothing to tip him over. Going in and out of the fields, in the school, in many situations when he felt he couldn't handle it, he would just leave at speed. And I realised that he never kept his feet still. He never just relaxed. So, over the course of about 2 weeks, I decided to sit in the outdoor school and read a book. Capri was on the end of his long line, and I endeavoured not to pay him any attention, but to just keep offering him the possibility of hanging out. I'm not doing anything to you. You don't need to do anything to me. Let's just be together and hang out here. And I would say this was a revelation for Capri. This was when things started to really change between us. He stopped feeling like he needed to do or run all the time, and he started to think that I might be of some use to him. And so finally, we could start to go out and explore the world a little bit together. Only in very small ways to begin with. I didn't want to overexpose him. But then as things got better, we went up onto the moor, which he loved. Capri is really a great adventurer. He just had been overwhelmed by his life circumstances changing, and he didn't have the skills to know what to do with that feeling of overwhelm. But as we started to become a better partnership, we could go away from home. We went and visited our friends at Ayton PRE. Capri very much enjoyed the big indoor school there. And I think you can see he's starting to believe I'm of some use to him. He doesn't need to leave me all the time. He could actually come back to me. With bolting something that he wasn't going to anymore, and knowing that we had a solution if he did feel like he needed to leave, we could really start to have more adventures out and about together. And Capri loves it. But I couldn't do this to begin with because anything that worried him caused him to take flight. So we had to spend a lot longer than I usually would in the confines of the arena before we could go out and benefit from our burgeoning partnership. So you can see here, he's actually a great explorer of the world. With the huge reduction in bolting and panic, I decided to introduce canter on the ground, which I hadn't been able to do before. And his challenges with canter revealed something significant. He would really panic and run through the transitions and cross canter or change leads. Because he now understood so much more, I was able to show my vet this specific problem, and we scoped him for ulcers, and he had grade 4 ulcers. He has subsequently been treated, and things have changed for the better again. Now that he is mentally and physically so much more comfortable, I'm able to ask questions of him I wouldn't even have conceived of even a couple of months ago. Here he is learning to pony with Des. There's no way I would have considered this within the first 3 months. And as you can see, he finds it pretty much okay. There's the two of them going together, and we'll be able to cover some more miles together like this. We've gone and visited our friend's yard. I've loaded him onto a lorry that he's never seen before. And after he got off the lorry from Scotland, he said, I'm never going on a lorry again. So I'm really pleased that this was his first response to being asked, after all the hours that I've put in together about me being a reliable source of guidance for him. That I'm going to try endlessly to see who he is and what he's concerned about, and to help him to feel better about all of these things. So now we're actually able to start schooling and training together. And you can see that now that Capri's relaxed, he's got excellent natural paces, he's got very good balance, and I think he's enjoying doing things with me. I'm very grateful for being gifted him. He's been a little tornado and a huge ray of sunshine.